Hello and welcome to Learn with Swasti. We are doing the paper of July 2024 and this is paper 2, series K. So let's start with CDP. Question number 1 is teachers should respect the individual differences among learners and adapt their teaching to cater to the needs of a student. So this is correct. Collaborations, group works and interactions should be avoided. So this is wrong. So the correct answer is A is true, but R is false. Question 2 talks about a commonality between Piaget and Vygotsky. So they both talked about the involvement and engagement of students in their own learning. Role of culture was by Vygotsky. Language and thoughts, they were not common. And focus on stages like progression, this is given by Piaget. So all these three are wrong. The correct answer is answer 1, which is involvement and engagement of children in their own learning. Question 3, which of the following correctly describes culturally responsive teaching? So intentional, yes. Adaptive, differentiated, but not standardized. So 1, 2 and 3. According to Piaget, how are children different from adults? So he said that children's thinking is qualitatively different from those of adults, not quantitatively. They're not dependent, and not that adults are more knowledgeable. So qualitatively, children's thinking is different from that of adults. You're a teacher who wants to help your students develop metacognitive skills. Which of the following strategies? So assignments won't help. Summarize notes, no. Giving marks, no. Encouraging reflection is going to help metacognitive skills. According to Vygotsky, what is the relationship between language and thought? So according to him, language and thought are complex interrelated process of development. He did not say that language does not shape thought or thought shape language, nothing like that. He basically, they are two interrelated processes, and basically he said that at the age of 3 they kind of merge. Question 7, a teacher asks herself, how can I handle experiences that require students to classify different types of object in the environment? So this is your naturalistic intelligence taken from Howard Gardner. So Gardner's question. Question 8, feedback to students in a classroom is most effective. When is it most effective? So it will be effective when it occurs during as well as after the learning, okay, not what it cannot do or around the exam times or comparison. So during as well as after the learning activity. Question 9, Rama is a teacher who is implementing Vygotsky's theory in her classroom, and she assigns students work in group, complete a challenging task. During the task, one student struggles to understand a key concept. What would be the most effective way for Rama to help? So basically work through the problem with the student and provide guidance and feedback. Okay? Don't provide the answer, assign a different task, no. Encourage the student to try this problem only on her own, no. So help wherever possible. Question 10, change and stability in emotions, personality and social. So this is psychosocial development. Constructivist teaching leads to dash by students. So it leads to discovery by students, not reception. There's no rote learning and it's not meaningless. In a progressive education, children are perceived as, so they are perceived as knowledgeable and meaning makers, not vulnerable, not innocent or compliant. They are knowledgeable meaning makers who are active learners. Question 13, Piaget's theory of cognitive development implicates that focus should be outcome of activity instead of process of thinking. Process of thinking is needed, so not only just activity. So this is wrong. Behaviors, no. Not conditioning. Concept should be taught in sequence from complex to simple, no. So the correct answer is curriculum should be designed keeping children's age group and stage in mind. How does setting mastery goals? So mastery goals is when you want to become a master of whatever is learning. How will it be impacting a student's motivation? So A, it will be intrinsic. So these two are out. Belief in the entity view of ability and incremental. Entity view is, it is only this much. So it will be the incremental view of ability, that every time I put in effort, it will give some result. During adolescence, the pressure to conform to gender expectations and follow conventions of femininity or masculinity increases. Yes, this is true. Gender and gender roles are determined biologically. No. So gender is biological, whereas gender roles is social. So A is true, but R is false. Question 16, teachers should encourage debates, discussions, and collaborations. Yes, true. Knowledge production is an inactive process. So A is true, R is false. Which of the following hinders the participation of students with visual impairments? So raised lines braille will help, tactile models of will help, electronic formatted lecture transcriptions. Okay. And printed textbooks. Printed textbooks and notebooks will not help, although I'm not sure how electronically formatted lecture transcriptions will help. So I'll go with 4. Question 18, which of the following is correctly matched? So norm reference is comparing performance to all of peers. So this is kind of the correct answer. This is wrong. We can do before and after, no, during also. And summative involves paper pencil test as well as detailed account of non-written behavior, no. So these two are wrong. Whereas criterion reference assessment does include mastery of specific topics and skills. So I'm a little unsure, but this is definitely correctly matched. Norm reference assessment compares performance to that of peers. So I'm going with 4. Let's see what CTET says. Question 19, Sunita is a 12-year-old girl, shows exceptional musical ability. Both her parents are accomplished singers and they send her for classes. Her capabilities are most likely. So this is heredity and environment. It is not gender identity or nutrition or anything. Which method of Lawrence Kohlberg did he use to study? So he used moral dilemmas. He posed them as questions. So that's option number 4. Question 21, schools should function within the framework which assesses the finished product and learning outcomes. So no, we should not just be doing that. Learning is tightly synced. So both of them are wrong. Both A and R are false. Which of the following statement is correct about autism? So autism is solely no, cured and improves with age, no. Have at least one exceptional skill, not necessarily, but it is a neurodevelopmental disorder. So this is correct. Question 23, which learning strategy involves children teaching others what they have learned? So this is called reciprocal teaching. Question 24, sensitive periods are those time periods during which certain dash are especially important for normal development. So certain environmental factors now become very important. The kind of environment you give to the child. 25, students studying with dyslexia can be taught to read. So through systematic phonological training. So dyslexia is when you are not able to convert letters into sounds, so you can't read. So through systematic phonological training, you will be able to read. Which of the following questions promotes analytical thinking? Total population is a recall question. Capital city of India, how many states? So what are the various causes of increase of population in India? This will be an analytical question. 27, assertion. Teachers should give a lot of opportunities to children for experimentation and discuss examples and non-examples. So this is correct. A constructive way of dealing with misconceptions in children is to provide counterexamples. So both are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. 28, in Asian cultures which stresses social harmony, expression of anger and are discouraged and shame is encouraged. Okay, yeah, this is correct. Emotions are subjective and do not play a role in learning. So this is incorrect. So A is true, R is false. Question 29, in order to develop critical thinking, what should a teacher do? Give questions that involve inferences and explanation. This seems correct. Avoid questions, ask only those questions, discourage. Okay, so they should give questions which involves inferences and explanations. And the last question, which is question 30, is about inclusive classrooms. Inclusive classrooms are meant to offer differentiated instructions as per individual differences. Yes, they are. They aim to remove all kinds of differences. No. Recognize that every child will learn at the same rate. No. And only for special children, no. So they are meant to offer differentiated instructions as per the individual differences of the child. So with that, we come to the end of CDP. This is paper 2, series K. And if this has been helpful, do like the video and follow me for your CTET preparations.